Hi, Gaby. Mm, qué raro, a ver. Dame un momento, Gaby. Ok, no todo está bien. Ahí tal vez puedes eh, volver a ingresar, Gaby. Tal vez probablemente algo fallado. Gaby, no?
Okay, now it's fine.
There. Okay, Gaby. So today we are going to start with the skill of writing. Okay, today and tomorrow we have to do this. So I will send you to your WhatsApp, okay, the material that we're going to need. Okay. And first, I will send you the discuss markers. Okay. And the connectors that both are the same. And finally, the writing skills, okay? So, okay, so in this first part, for example, we're gonna open, I will share you my screen in order to explain you a little bit about it.
Okay.
So when we talk about, for example, connectors and discuss markers, we are talking about some words that are going to help us in order to join sentences or maybe paragraphs. Okay, so in this case, we are going to see these discuss markers. So I will share my screen. Okay, so I will share you this. Okay, this. When we want to make, for example, formally says, or maybe some letters, or only for a response, a concrete response, we have to use some of these discuss markers. And how we're gonna use it? This is more like a vocabulary that we have. So we have to know all of these. If we have, for example, to build a summary, we are going to have the introduction, okay, and for an essay, for a longer essay. So in the first paragraph, when we want to explain something specific, always we have to make, or we have to, yes, make them notice that this is the first paragraph. This is why we're going to use these kind of words. For example, these four are like synonyms. At first sight, first of all, in the first place, to start with. So these are synonyms. We could use whatever of these four in order to start a paragraph. Okay? So after this, when we have the second paragraph, if we have a longer response of something, we could use, for example, in the second place, second, secondly, or third, thirdly. If we have little spaces, little steps, we could use this. And in this second paragraph, it's gonna be all the body of the summary. For example, what we're going to find here. We're going to put, for example, if we want to add some information in my response, I could use eventually, apart from, besides, in addition to, moreover. If we have, for example, two examples like giving some two informations, so the first one we could use on the hand. On the other hand, if we have the second that is going to continue this, or maybe if we want to establish some contrast, we will use however instead of nevertheless, okay, whereas, about, although. So we could use all of this. And why do we have many options? Because in some cases, there are some people that they want to use, for example, two or double, however, in only one response. And in some cases, it's not good because you are like using many times the same word, for example, like and that's not okay. So you could use synonyms of this, okay? In order to explain some cause, for example, something, you could use these other two, okay? Because of, due to the fact, for this reason, that reason, okay? And if you want to explain some results, you could use this as a result, what we have, consequently, therefore, okay? So you could use these words. If you want to express something, but another way, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna use this. For example, in short, in other words, okay? Now what happened with when you want to express some facts? You are going to use this for, okay? So, oh, David, are you there?
Sorry, I don't know what happened with my internet.
Okay, okay, don't worry, Gabby. So, well, I don't know if you could see yet the PDF. Could you see? Okay, so I was telling you about, for example, when we want to express some facts, you have different words of expressing this in order not to repeat. This is most important in number 8, because when somebody tells you about something and they need a special opinion from you, so you could use these ones, that this is like a formal way to answer some question, right? As far as from my point of view, I agree, for example, in my opinion, in my view. So these are going to be important, okay? So in number 9, we have here some of words that we can use in order to modify something that we are telling, okay? For example, like particular, basically, essentially, in order to modify what you want to express. In order to give some examples, it's very common to use this word, for example, for example, for example, but it will be better if you use, for example, others like for instance, such as, and so on, okay, in order to give examples. If you want to resume something, you could use this in short to sum up, okay, and finally, we could use this in order to make sequential some sequence about something that we're saying. If we have many steps, for example, you think like after that, then, not always like first, second, third, fourth, for example, not always like that. Okay, so you have these words that is going to help you a lot. And the last part, it is when we have the conclusion. You could use finally, lastly, in conclusion, for making understand to the reader that it's the end of the paragraph. Okay, so you could use these PDFs, Gabby, uh, in order to make your writing skill right now. Okay, so today we're going to start with the first one. So now I will share you the first skill. The first skill was about, give me a second, let's open the writing skills. I'm sure what is it? Writing practice tests. So, so what do we have here? In this case, we're going to read this. Okay, so I want you to read this essay, and you are going to write like your response about this, if you agree, if you disagree, using the discuss markers. Okay, so let's first read this passage. Okay, Gabi, could you read, please?
An effort to encourage ecologically sustainable forestry practices, an international organization started issuing certifications to wood companies that meet high ecological standards by conserving resources and recycling materials. Companies that receive this certification can attract customers by advertising their products as eco-certificates. Around the world, many wood companies have adopted new ecologically friendly practices in order to receive eco-certification. However, it is unlikely that wood companies in the United States will do the same for several reasons. First, American consumers are exposed to so much advertising that they would not value or even pay attention to the eco certification level. Because so many medical products are labeled new or improved, American consumers do not place much trust in advertising claims in general. Second, eco-certified wood will be more expensive than uncertified wood because in order to earn eco-certification, a wood company must pay to have its business examined by the certification agency. These additional costs gets passed on to customers. American consumers tend to be strongly motivated by price and therefore they are likely to choose cheaper and certified wood products. Accordingly, American wood companies will prefer to keep their prices low rather than obtain a certification. Third, although some people claim that it always made good business sense for American companies to keep up with the developments in the rest of the world, this argument is not convincing. Pursuing certification would make sense for American wood companies only if they marketed most of their products abroad. But that is not the case. American wood businesses sell most of their products in the United States, catering to a very large customer base that is satisfied with the merchandise.
Okay, perfect. Very good. So this is one point of view, okay, about, well, this passage is one point of view, and we have the other point of view about what the professor says. So we're going to read this passage too, okay, in order to make like our agreement.
Okay. Well, despite what many people say, there's good reason to think that many American wood companies will eventually seek eco-certification for their wood products. First off, consumers in the United States don't treat all advertising the same. They distinguish between advertising claims that companies make about their own products and claims made by independent certification agencies. Americans have a lot of confidence in independent consumer agencies. Thus, ecological minded Americans are likely to react very favorably to wood products ecologically certified by an independent organization with an international reputation for trustworthiness. Second point, of course, it's true that American consumers care a lot about price. Who doesn't? But studies of how consumers make decisions show that price alone determines consumers' decision only when the price of one competing product is much higher or lower than another. When the price difference between two products is small, say less than 5%, as is the case with certified wood, Americans often do choose some factors other than price. And Americans are becoming increasingly convinced of the value of preserving and protecting the environment. And third, US wood companies should definitely pay attention to what's going on in the wood business internationally, not because of foreign consumers, but because of foreign competition. As I should tell you, as I just told you, sorry, there's a good chance that many American consumers will be interested in eco-certified products. And guess what? If American companies are slow capturing those customers, you can be sure that foreign companies will soon start crowding into the American market, offering eco-certificate wood that domestic companies don't.
Okay, perfect, very good. So now about these two passages, you know that it is a contrast because they both are like different, right? So you're gonna write your opinion. And you could use, maybe you could write in one or three paragraphs. It depends on what you want to say. And the instruction that we have to use is here. For example, in order to write the response, we have like 20 minutes, like a nice enough time. So what do you have to do? You have to write your response, and this response has to be like 150 to 225 words at least. Okay, so what are you going to do? You are going to judge the quality of the writing, for example, the first passage and the second passage, and what do you think about it? Okay, Gabby, so now you are gonna share your screen with me in a Word, in a page of Word. So that is gonna be the first step. Okay, and you have to use, for example, the most discussed markers that you can do it as possible. Okay.
Mm, but okay. Please give me a second. I'm going to activate my computer. I was on my cell phone because of my internet.
Okay, okay. Don't worry, don't worry. Take your time.
Oi. Mm, no, I can't. I
Okay, it's
I
not
can't
possible.
Wi-Fi, but I can record my screen from my cell phone if it's okay.
Okay, or maybe try to write on your computer, and when you finish, you
Mhm.
can send me the picture.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay, don't worry, take your time.
Okay, it's done. I share a photograph to WhatsApp.
Okay. Okay, Gabby. So I will. Okay. I'm going to be Professor. Okay. Okay, when we have off, always the next verb is gonna be in a gerund. So of maintaining. Okay,
Okay.
maintain the environment in good conditions and produce movement for the future. We have people proposed to show different climate and different on the other hand, it's improved by the difference of the the person conclusion, everything that you knows, the application between super everywhere. Example of perfect. Yes, very good. Very good, Gabby. So that was the only mistake there. But after all, everything was okay, okay? So try to study the discuss markers, and tomorrow we're gonna continue with the second skill, well, with the second practice about this speaking. Okay. Okay. So, okay, Gabby. So see you tomorrow. Take care a lot. Bye bye, Gabby.
Tomorrow, take care, a lot too. Bye bye.